Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the live stream. My name is Dan. This is Tweet FPV. One of these days, I'm going to get back into After Effects and trim that intro to actually match up with the song. It is the same length as the song, except for the song has like 5 seconds of dead air at the end of it. Really didn't do that one very well. How's everybody doing this morning? This beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning here. At least it's pretty nice where I'm at in dirty old Southern Alabama. How is everyone doing? I'm doing fine. A little tired today. Getting over a cold, or one's coming over me, one or the other. I don't really know. It's that time of year. I'm always sick on Thanksgiving. Why would this one be any different? Over to the chat, Dan636. First on the board, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing this morning? Mihail Redick, thank you for coming out. One Vision Aerial, good morning. What coffee are we having this morning? We are having, no, we're not actually having Ruby Moon coffee. I ran out and went back to my old standard Costco's coffee, which I really liked. Unfortunately, good coffee has ruined me, and this stuff is not great. I talked to my buddy Brent. I'm like, hey man, I need my fix. You can get me 2 bags of that Guatemalan? Yeah, so waiting on some beans to be roasted up. He roasts them to order. It's not like he has a bunch sitting around. You place the order, they get roasted, and then they get sent out to you. I think 3 days later they got an off gas or something like that. So, drinking Costco coffee, which isn't bad. It's just not good, if that makes any sense. Robbie Store, how are you doing this morning? Family Guyver, how are you? One Vision Aerial, smash that thumbs up button. Yes, and from now on, you can no longer see how many people disliked my live streams. It's a weird move YouTube has taken. They have removed the dislike counter. You can certainly dislike the video, but it just doesn't show up to any of you. It shows up in my analytics, makes me depressed, but hey, you know, that's what you're all here for. Triple B, Brandon Baked Beans, how are you doing this morning, my friend? Brian Huff, how are you? Market Zero, welcome. Robbie, good evening. Yes, it's probably evening where you're at. Dan636, I'm the captain now. It's weird. It's a weird state to be in where you think in memes now, but hey, I guess that's the way it is. Always hath been. How are you doing this morning? Unknown Error. That's a new name. Thank you for coming out. Hell, 2:33 a.m. on Monday right now. Oh, that is gross. Morton Upshot, how you doing? You need some coffee? Go to rubymooncoffee.com and get yourself a bag. If you use my coupon code TweetFPV, you'll save $1.50 off each order. Central Australia. Damn. Let's see. Mr. Huggy, how are you doing? Yeah, they're supposed to be changing that. There's a lot of controversy about YouTube removing the dislikes counter from videos. I don't know if they've moved it over to live streams, but I think they've moved it to videos. I'm not sure. Dan636 took my recommendation, bought the X9 Lite S. Loving it so far. Yeah, it is a great radio. Definitely go with the S model over the standard X9 Lite. The S model just has all the extra bells and whistles, and those 2 little momentary buttons. If you start thinking in terms that you have those, they can be super, super useful. Yeah. I can take out my passive progression without a dislike bug, but yeah. Morton, how you doing? All right, well, couple big things. I should have wrote them down because I have forgotten what I was going to talk about. It's one of those mornings, guys. The Voron is just working away. I mean, you want to see some first layer porn? Here you go, guys. Look at that. That is some perfect first layerage. I am having a little bit of issue with figuring out how to work Clipper. Every time I print, I've got to like really crank that Z offset down, and I keep changing it in the config file on Clipper, and it seems like it doesn't work. Like I've got like 9mm offset set in there, and every time I start a print, I'm just cranking that wheel down. I have no idea why. So it's something I gotta look into. So far, it's not a print and walk away type printer yet, like the old Prusa is, but we're getting there. Doing a lot of test prints, trying to figure out flow ratio. So like this is 100% flow rate. She's stiff and clicky, and I'm sure you can hear it kind of crunching. But at 92%, threaded parts are very, very nice. Calculated E-steps and everything. Like, so one of the weird things with the Prusa is I'm always printing at 100% flow rate, but the firmware defaults to 96% every time you start the printer up. So I don't know, maybe there's a little bit of compensation baked in there, but whatever. So far, so good. I like it. It's loud. Just the fans are stupid loud. I would love to try to find some quieter fans for it, but we'll let it ride for now. Nate, how you doing, my friend? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. You're either sick or shit out a kid, one or the other. So that's what everybody does at work. Orca's second Kickstarter, yeah. I saw a really quick, super indiscreet thing about another Kickstarter. I'm certainly not going to do a Kickstarter from Orca. The people who did the Kickstarter for the original FPV ones, it's like they got their goal, they met their goal, they started producing, and then when they started selling to retail, people who bought retail ended up with their goggles before the backers did. It is just the wrong way to do things. Plus, with Kickstarter, if they just fold or steal your money and go to the government sector and start, you know, you have no leg to stand on. Don't back their Kickstarter. If they want to produce a product, they'll produce a product. If they need capital to produce that product, then they've screwed up somewhere along the line by making, I don't know, let's say a toy transmitter or some stupid ass way to connect your goggles to your controller so you can play video games on it. The company's focusing on the wrong stuff. They're not focusing on FPV, although their goggles that they made are awesome. Everything else they've done in the meantime has been less than stellar, in my opinion. They're not focused enough. Like there's still a ton of bugs in the FPV1 goggles that they're just ignoring. Hey, how about making the fan turn on automatically when you turn the damn goggles on, just like everybody else does? Or perhaps try to fix some of the bugs in your software. How about the fact that your FPV Connect system only works for maybe a quarter of the people who use it without having to use a stupid VPN on my phone? Maybe these are some things to address before begging for money from people with no collateral on the other end. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, I'll probably, depending on what the Kickstarter is, because like they talked about a Kickstarter, but the Kickstarter had no information. It was just, you know, Orca's the master of indiscreet confusion and just baiting people with very vague statements. I'll probably do it once I figure out what it is, but I really don't recommend anybody else back them. I'll be honest. Buy their product when they come out with it, if they come out with it. They're a big enough company that if they're smart and they've done their homework and they've run their company correctly, they don't need a Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is there so they could... Basically, the only upside of the Kickstarter is that they can you and run with your money. That's it. I've got a big problem with Kickstarters to start with. Yeah, unless they're willing to refund everybody if their Kickstarter falls apart. So I don't know. Oh man, it is far too early for a ranty time. Bork drank too much last night. I either drank too much last night or I had too much salty food. Yeah, I ate a bunch of popcorn and had a Moscow Mule and went to bed. It's probably not. Yeah. New Express LRS 2.4 antenna. Mahale. Post a link. You're a mod. You can, oh, you probably did. Yep, I think you did. Let's see. He posted a link to something. Go away. Why do you need my information to see your stupid website? F off. Cookies. Okay, got it. All right, so let's bring this over to here. And boop, boop. There we go. A new type of ceramic antenna. Look at that. It looks like a lot like the EP2s. Just a different antenna. Do they talk anything about the antenna? Nope. It's interesting. Looks a lot lower profile. It might actually stay attached to the board. Interesting. I mean, there are lots of different ceramic antennas out there. Definitely have to give that one a look. Thanks for the link, Mahale. Thank you for the link. Brandon Baked Beans. Dude, kids are disgusting. They're either gonna make, oh damn it, camera's overheating. I left it in 4K. So I'm an idiot. All right, hopefully that stops. Yeah, when I do like standalone recording, like if I'm going to work on a separate project, I'll put the camera in 4K 30 to get footage off of it. And then I forget to put it back to 1080 60 for the live streams, and it overheats. Yay, Sony. I have nothing bad to say about Sony cameras, except for the fact that the older ones overheat. Even the 5100s and the 6400s, they all overheat. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, you're in OSHA training, that's right. I'm sure that was fun. Now when you screw up, you could be held accountable for it. Good job. Brian Huff, how beneficial is 3D printer to FPV in general? I think the two go hand in hand. But if you're looking for a recommendation on a 3D printer, use the one your buddy has. I'm sure you have a friend that has a 3D printer. I'm sure they'll be happy to print out something for you for a couple bucks to kind of justify their purchase. If you don't know anybody with a 3D printer, and you just want to get into printing, there's lots of good printers out there. Just look for something with a direct drive extruder more than anything else. But 3D printing and this hobby, they tend to go hand in hand. And so does 3D modeling. So the printer is pretty useless unless you either have a good source for STLs, and let's face it, darn near everything I get off of Thingiverse, it's not quite right. Like they all need a little bit of tweaking, but your thoughts might vary. Rick Zapata in the house. How are you doing today, man? We're supposed to have a multi-GP race last weekend. That got pushed because nobody could attend. We're going to do it this weekend. We had 4 people on the hook as of like Tuesday, then 3 on Wednesday, then 2 on Friday night, and I was supposed to run it, and we just killed it. So that's 2 months in a row that we've canceled a race because of no attendance. Got a feeling it's pretty much the end. Everybody's busy. COVID really screwed everybody's work schedule. Everybody's working weird times, got stuff going on, moving, things like that. So we'll see. Yeah, people think it's for the HD system. They've been teasing HD system since the original Orca ones came out. They haven't produced shit. Sorry. You know, before the stream, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to swear this stream. Okay, didn't work out. I'm trying, guys. Not very much, but I'm trying. Yeah, you know, they keep teasing stuff, so they're here's what's going to happen. It's going to be a Kickstarter for some really indescript thing. They're not going to say what it is, and it's going to turn out to be I don't know, a way to connect your controller to Facebook. That way people can see your stick inputs. Like the whole idea, the FPV, the Connect module was awesome. Like, hey, I can live stream my video to YouTube. Doesn't work for YouTube. Oh, okay, well I can stream it to Facebook. Yeah, but the app won't let you pick which one of your accounts that you want to stream it to. So I can stream to my personal account. Can't stream to my Tweet FPV account. Oh, but it's going to consume twice as much battery. Okay. Your phone will give you updates that your firmware is out of date. But unless you have like one of the 3 phones that it works with, it can't actually connect to the internet and your phone Wi-Fi at the same time. So you can't actually download the update because it doesn't download the update to your phone. It wants to get it real time from their server. So if you're connected to the module with your phone is no longer connected to your cellular network, so you can't do anything with it. It's an ineffectual product. Actually, I'm planning on removing it from my goggles because all it does is suck up battery life. Oh, but you can finally control your GoPro through it, but only if you have a GoPro 10. They advertised that you could control your Mavic's camera with your goggles. That just finally came out, but you got to have the $700 smart controller to make that happen. See my point? They're awesome goggles, other than that, but they reached too far and they did not deliver. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Bitter about it. I still love my Orcas, though. I got rid of my HDO2s because of the Orcas. Because Orcas fit so much better, and the DVR is just beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. Is there advantages to using steel versus aluminum prop nuts other than weight? Aluminum will wear out quickly if you have any damage to the threads on your motors. Like, so if you like crash upside down, you dick up like the first 2 threads, that aluminum prop nut is not going to survive. Plus, if you over torque, you're just going to strip them out. The aluminum ones are lighter, but honestly, I would go with steel or low profile steel ones if you can find them. If you have the tiny trainer, why does the chat do this? All right, stop, go away. All right. Let's see. Rick Cepeda getting our program put together for now. LGB next year starts in January. Yeah, we usually take January and February off and do like a indoor series. We didn't do it last year because of, you know, COVID. Nate, that's awesome. Glad you liked it. I'll have to pick your brain when you get back. I feel the same, so I'll take the blame for kicking the nest. Rob Logan, my goodness, where have you been? I got caught. So hey, man, no worries at all. Eventual rust spots, possibly. No, you're gonna be taking them on and off enough that they're not gonna have rust on them. If they get rust on them, it's because you got it wet, and if you got it wet, then I'm sure everything else is kind of trashed. No, so it's not that bad because the prop nut is in the center of, well, it's like the moment of inertia for the motor. It's like having a heavier prop shaft or having a heavier blade. The heavier blade is going to really affect how fast your motors spin up and down. But as you move that rotating mass to the center line, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I mean, obviously, it does a little bit, but it's super negligible. You'll never notice it. If you think you noticed it, you're full of it. And it's just placebo. Let's see. You can't connect and stream Orcas to YouTube. Nope. He did it. He did it because he streamed it to his goggles. Then he used Streamlabs OBS to stream it to YouTube. You can't do it natively through the Orca Connect app. I mean, you can do it, but not without a ton of to make it happen. I have 10% off Orca product codes. Yeah, except for it's probably just for the t-shirt. T-shirts are kind of cool though. Yeah, you know what, Dan 66, I've been through every iteration. Some phones will work, some won't. Mine do not work. Yeah. There's some people can make it work, some can't. I've tried every single thing possible. It does depend on which phone you have and your carrier. If I use Speedify VPN, it works fine because then it could set my cellular network and my Wi-Fi network as primary sources of communication, and then it'll work. So, yeah, I know it can be done. It's not very common, though. I use my phone through Wi-Fi, Android Auto, and stream music with my car all the time. Yeah, but your phone's acting as a pass-through for Android Auto. So your phone's connected to it through Wi-Fi, and your that's kind of the problem. Is the Orcas they're creating a Wi-Fi hotspot or an AP that you connect to through your phone. So your phone's talking to that, thinking that's where your data connection's coming from. I'm not sure how the Android Auto works, but I'm sure the code is written a bit different than whatever hackery Orca's come up with. So it looks like you guys do like the overlays. I tend to like these. I only have 3 of them built up. I have a 4th, which I haven't really worked on, but I like them. It's a little bit different than the standard, full screen thing. Athex, what version of chat are you using now? Not sure what you're talking about, Athex. If anybody wants to interact, you can go over to my Discord server, go to the live stream chat room, and clicky-clack there. Or if you want to get my attention like Dan636 did here, type @tweetfpv and it'll light up in orange. Or you can click that $sign at the bottom corner and send over a super chat. I'll definitely be able to see that. Connects radio via Wi-Fi, then streams over data. Yeah, there might be something different in the way that's written, but yeah, it definitely doesn't work that way. Piotr? I'm sure that's wrong, but hey, how you doing, man? Family Guyver, I've seen Bot Grinder live stream Orcas. Yeah, he's doing it by running through Streamlabs. So you have to run a streaming software on top of a streaming software to make it happen. See your buddy Fly streams on FPV on Facebook Live. Yeah, it'll do Facebook Live, but the program's written so poorly I can't choose which account to use. It's like you have your personal account, and then under that you have like a brand account. It won't let me choose the brand account. It'll only let me to it only let me actually it'll only pick the personal account, which nobody cares. flying quads in the snow. Yep. Water makes rust. I think a new brushless cockroach frame is crap. I changed my mind. It cracks so badly in rough crashes. Not knockout proof. You know, Brandon, frames are really tough to judge. I've had the older cockroach frames. You look at them wrong, they explode. This one here has been the iGao one I used, and trust me, I have crashed the living crap out of this thing, and all I have is one broken strut. Temperature makes a big difference too, but this one was way more durable than the last one I had. But, you know, it just takes crashing it a little bit different than the last time to make a huge difference, so I don't know. I think this year, conformal coat and use hardware that doesn't rust. Any suggestions for non-corrosive metric hardware? Yeah, stainless or yeah, stainless. Just anything that's not black oxide coated. Athix, sorry for clarification. I like the current chat layout, but not familiar with terminology. Oh, gotcha. So all of this stuff you see, it's all, I'm running OBS, not Streamlabs. Streamlabs can go themselves. They've done a lot of crappy stuff lately. So I'm using OBS, just the standard OBS, and then this stuff is kind of pick and choose through, I think it's Nerd or Die, and then you can just kind of set it up the way you want. It takes a long time to set up this stuff. And then OBS, every time I open it, things move around. Like the Cool Kids Club up here, the streaming bar with everybody's name. Every time I open this thing, it's all screwed up. It's either crushed down to a spot about this big and I have to reset it and then re-shrink it down and to make it work, or it's just not there. It's a pain in the butt, but it works. Nate, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate the super chat. Aluminum or titanium tend to hold up the best from rust. Well, if you're going titanium into aluminum, like your standoffs, let's see. Let's see if I can find. So you have to be careful which hardware. I could find the chart in one of my manuals, but I can't seem to find it. So based off the pH scale of aluminum versus titanium, if they are far from each other, once electrolyte gets between them, they're going to corrode. Titanium does corrode, and it does corrode very quickly into aluminum. It corrodes to the point where you cannot get it apart. Using like an anti-seize between, or a thread locker between aluminum and titanium hardware kind of creates a barrier between the two from corroding to each other, and you can get them apart. But if you have aluminum into titanium and it gets wet, it will basically chemically weld itself together. Where is let's see. There it is. So over on the chart here, see if I can make that a bigger image for you guys. All right. So here's the pH level of certain metals. So higher pH at the bottom, lower pH at the, sorry, higher at the top, lower at the bottom. Titanium is, let's see, where's titanium? So aluminum alloys, very high, high pH. Titanium, down here, very low. So the farther apart this is from this, the higher the potential for them corroding. So if you put, say, you put magnesium with platinum, they're basically going to insta-weld because of the chemical reaction between them. High pH, low pH, trons go back and forth, create rust. We have aluminum alloy and galvanized steel very, very close to each other. These two are basically never going to corrode. Whereas like mild steel and aluminum, they're a little bit farther apart, not much of a chance of corrosion. But we have aluminum alloys, and with titanium way down here, they will basically weld together fairly quickly as soon as there's some sort of electrolyte in between, because electrolyte being water's an electrolyte because there is some salts in there. Unless it's deionized water, which that's not what you're going to be getting in between there. The electrolyte's going to allow electrons to travel from one to the other and corrode. How is that for a little bit of knowledge being dropped on you? Now that I've bored the living shit out of the chat. Yeah. Where are we at? So Kearns JW, I don't recommend titanium for applications where you're going into aluminum, which is probably what you're going to be doing anyways. I mean, it will make it lighter, but you're going to have to worry about corrosion. Like I said, putting lots of Loctite between your aluminum parts and your titanium parts will help out a lot. It'll give you a barrier between the two. Oh, JFEV, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. Triple B have a bunch of frames they sent a few months back. Put them in frame crash in week 20. Wow, that is definitely not my experience, but yeah. Says V2 on it. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I'm sure that as their molds get worn, because that's what happens in the molding process, it probably lets in a little more air, a little less 2 spec. It might break easier. It's hard to say. But yeah, frames are a tough one. I can have a frame that beat the like take this one, the ELRS mob light. Like, I have crashed. I have tried to break this frame. I have video of me just full tilt in the wall over and over and over and over again, and nothing. And then I get a guy on my Discord who crashed it once and the frame shattered. It's so hard to tell. Fact is, it's plastic and it's gonna break. It's just how quickly is it gonna break? Yeah. Borked, first you're doing your Secret Santa. When will we know who to gift to? I'm going to do it right after Thanksgiving. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. Let's see how many people have signed up for that. By the way, if you're curious what he's talking about, last year I did a Secret Shopper, Secret Santa, White Elephant, whatever the heck you want to call it, over on my Discord. I had 13 people signed up, not including myself. If you want to get in on that, head over to tweetfb.com and hit that Discord link. Sign up, let us know who you are, and we can talk some details. Today we're going to be doing the October Sub250 crate giveaway. It's for the Diatone Roma F35 frame. If you guys haven't signed up for that, you should probably do that. The link is in the video of the unboxing. It's literally in the video, so you gotta find it. Yes, galvanic corrosion action, they call it. Yep, happened to me once. Happens to me all the time. I have cars from Michigan. Let's see. Wish there were more choices for 3.5-inch props. Yeah, unfortunately, but there will be more. Just like when 4-inch came out, there was like 2 props. Now there's a whole bunch of them. manufacturers are going to figure out what sells, and they're going to start making them, you know. Sound like a mech. Yeah, Nate. I'm more mech than tweet. Put it that way. That's an inside joke for you guys. Let's see. What? Oh, the chat just jumped. Yeah, doing some of that old service-wide study in there. No, I haven't. But, yeah, it's something that people don't consider is the pH level of hardware makes a difference. Like back in the day with all the dirt biking stuff, everybody wanted titanium hardware. And then they started making aluminum frames. And then they found out that they had to basically EDM remove all the hardware because it basically welds itself to the frame unless you put a ton of Loctite on it to create that sacrificial barrier. Back through the chat. Speedy Turtle, how you doing, man? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hey, is JB done with your Speedy Turtle crate? Or your Speedy Cares crate? Nerd. Nerd. Yeah, always Loctite, aluminum, or titanium, and conformal coat. Yep. Science can be fun. It can be. See, I don't know what it was. It was like 6-8 months ago. My wife ordered some sort of like super green. And I don't know. It was like blocks of like ground up super green type foods, and it came packed in dry ice. And I'm like, "Woo, science time! Come on, kid, grab a water bottle. I'm gonna show you something." I showed her something that scared the shit out of all of us. Made a dry ice bomb. It's pretty pretty spectacular. It's been a long time since I've done that. I forgot how loud that can be. Yeah. Clear nail polish works well too. It does. It tends to want to scrape off more than like a silicone conformal coating, but an acrylic does work in a pinch. Really wouldn't recommend it. If you are going to do conformal coating, get the MG Chemicals conformal coating and get a UV light or a black light to see the spots that you miss. That stuff has a UV reactive dye in it that will light up when you hit it with the UV light, and you'll see all the spots you miss because you're going to miss a bunch of it. There was like a shake and bake one that I saw last year that looked pretty good, but conformal coating's like, I don't know, it's peace of mind. Like, does it work or does it not work? Because there's plenty of conformal coated quads that fail, and there's plenty that don't. So, is it poor application, or is it all smoke and hook? I have no idea. Steel I Loctite. I try conformal coat them, but they always rust unless you dry well. Yeah, start using stainless hardware. Speedy's in. You did it last year, from what I remember. One Vision aerial, yes, I really like the Secret Santa thing too. Something nobody else does. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I get a lot of questions every couple weeks. I get a question. Hey man, how do I grow my YouTube channel? And I look at their channel. They've got 2 flight videos in a field and like 1 subscriber, and I'm like, you gotta find something that nobody else does, or you've got to just grind the out of this thing. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years now. That's where I'm at. I would say I'm probably far behind the curve for how much time I put into this, but I really don't care. I'm more concerned with the Discord side of it and just helping people out. If I can make something out of this, that's cool. If not, whatever. I don't want this to become a job, and it kind of has become a job in the last maybe year and a half, where I feel compelled, like I feel bad when I don't put out a video every week or like really high quality content. Like let's face it, my content's kind of like, yeah, I just get the information out there. There's not a lot of production quality behind it. Like I look at channels like Half Chrome, I'm just like, damn, like someone has some time and skill to edit. Like B-roll, B-roll. I ain't heard of B-roll. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna make a video on this thing, I'm gonna take some B-roll. Before I know it, I'm hitting the export button and just being done with it. But yeah. One Vision Aerial. I don't know who everybody is between YouTube and Facebook and email, so I hope you're signed up. If you're not, head on over there, sign on up. Nate, time to clean the garage. Hey man, have a good one. And before you go, did you end up getting a larger quad? Nate is a local dude I work with, and let's see, I sold him a brush newbie drone quad last year, just kind of get his feet wet. Patio Patterson, I had a 97 CR250R, first year aluminum frame. I had that bike too. That was the worst motorcycle I have ever owned, and if you own one, you know how bad it was. Yeah, that was the worst bike I have ever owned. I did everything to make it just tolerable. But yeah, but I had a 97 CR250. First year for aluminum frame. Had that single radiator in the front. Yeah, it was weird. Oh, yeah, and I didn't even finish reading your comments. So harsh, lots of vibration. I did everything to try to dampen the vibration. Rubber-mounted triple clamps, the stupid bar end weights that like went into the bar to try to dampen them. I filled the frame with expanding foam. All the hollow bolts I filled with silicone. Just something. It was miserable, but yes, it was fast. Frame was terrible. It was so it was the first year they did aluminum. Aluminum is way more rigid than steel. And they made it too rigid, where every little vibration transferred into the frame, and it just like you're go numb while you're riding. It was awful. Nate, yep, dropping that corrosion science on us. Anode plus cathode plus electrolyte creates hardware death. And if you want a simple explanation, let's see, how do I share a video? Here's some watching in the off time if you guys want to see something kind of funny. All right, so the chat moved. Don't know where anything's at. The Sub250 is 3.5. Correct. Roma 3. Roma Diatone Roma 3.5. Yeah, I believe it's 3.5. Copper and aluminum together in electrical world. It's a recipe for fires and disaster. They don't wire houses inside with aluminum any longer. Yeah, I know they do service connections with aluminum, and if you ever happen to just sort of clip an aluminum wire with a shovel, it's only a matter of time before that wire dies. I think Mail. I think of conformal coating as a way to keep caps on the board. Yep, glue them down. Awesome. Just take the conformal part into direct sunlight. Inspect for the application. UV light. I never miss it anymore because the sunlight works just as well. Does the sunlight make it glow, or are you just looking for the shiny stuff? Brandon. Crabtree. What's up, nerds? How you doing, man? Unknown error, unknown comment. Which course you have done? Bought the worry-free FPV waterproof goop for $10. Haven't tried it yet. Yeah, there's a bunch of different stuff out there. The MG Chemicals is like an industry standard. It may not be all that good. There may be better. I really don't know. Every quad I build, so I build the quads make sure they work, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go back and Conformal code them. I never do. I always want to, I just never do. I usually go back to Michigan for the holidays, and I fly there. It's usually snowy and crappy out, so I'll probably Conformal code a few quads before I go. Bacon cooked. Yeah, where I come from, the rust just makes the cars disappear. Industrial grade electrical tape, yeah. Please, can you please tell me from where I can learn coding and robotics to make an FPV drone? Google. Just Google it. Nobody codes them. We just buy flight controllers that have the code already written for them. If you're looking to make something out of like a Raspberry Pi, there's a few projects out there. Again, www.google.com, and then type in what you're looking for. There are non-electric torque screwdrivers as well. I have one. It's very, very expensive. So I was working on a steering cylinder for a John Deere 318, old lawn tractor. I was rebuilding it, didn't want to rebuild it, but the customer wanted it rebuilt rather than just replacing it. And the stack up for all the selector valves, or like the plates inside of it, are very sensitive to being over torqued. And the torque spec was like 2 Newton meters, and it had to be exact. So I had to buy a torque screwdriver to fit that spec. And God, I think I paid $400 for a stupid torque screwdriver. It was ridiculous. Yeah. What is the best whoop now? I'm going to say probably the Mobula 6 still, but I haven't tried the new Emax Tiny Hawk. The Emax Tiny Hawks have always been really good. They're not super good, and they're not bad. They're like right in the middle. They tend to fly way better. They're more stable. I really liked racing my my Emax Tiny Hawk, even though... So the big downside with racing, with poorly officiated races where there's not like lots of spotters, is when you have to turtle mode, it takes a ton of time to turtle mode. So A, don't crash, or B, if you turtle mode, you're probably going to lose because it takes you so long to get the quad to flip over compared to other options out there, like the Mobula 6. I really like the newbie drone quads. The new one, the minimum power is 35 milliwatts, so can't use it in any races where they require a 25 milliwatt power limit. Real smart move there. So yeah, Ram Donko is here to confuse us all. Thank you. How are you doing today, man? Thanks for coming out. Family Guy, we're just to a new one for testing industrial control panels. Yep. What's the program that's free to allow me to send printable files again? There is Thingiverse, if that's what you're talking about, that has free 3D prints, free 3D designs. The sunlight makes it glow purple. Interesting. Okay, I've never tried it. Yeah, good one's expensive. Yeah, high-end precision costs money. Repeatability costs money. Things that come with a certificate validating their specs cost money. Lots of money. Like, I have a cheapo multimeter under the bench here that works great for everything I use it for quad related. It was $20. I also have a Fluke out in the garage that was $300. There's higher levels of insulation, higher protection levels in them, higher accuracy. The two are not comparable at all, except for the $300 one will work great doing multi rotors and the stuff we do here, but that $20 one, no way in I would trust it with what I do with that Fluke. And there's a reason why it's expensive, is because it's It has higher precision and it's higher protection. It's, you know, something we don't really worry about in quads, but when you start jamming your grubby little readers inside of a panel, an industrial panel, kind of want that that extra level of protection. Yeah, and same thing with torque wrenches. Like, you can get a torque wrench from Harbor Freight. I have torque testers at work that are calibrated to a mill standard. Very, very different. Very, very different results between that and, say, something you get from, like, Snap-on. They also cost way more. Yeah, expensive precision equipment should be recalibrated now and then as well. Cheap equipment won't pass calibration. That's the problem. Is like, cheap equipment, let's say a torque wrench, you buy a cheap torque wrench, you could calibrate it, but it doesn't have the repeatability. So you set it to like 50 foot-pounds, you'll get 50, 55, 49, 52, and it would not pass a certification because it does not have a constrained level of reliability. Every precision device has some sort of offset on it, and when you get them calibrated, they tell you what the offset is, but that offset also has to be in a certain range of variance. Current JW says, funny you mentioned the certificate. I have a vacuum pot and need a vacuum gauge, not certified. It was 20, certified 275. Yeah, so it depends on what your requirements are. If you just need a gauge to fill a hole to see that you're actually pulling a vacuum, that $20 gauge is going to be perfect. If you need a gauge, it's going to tell you exactly how many microns of vacuum you're pulling, say working on like HVAC stuff, then that $275 one is probably what you're going to want. But it all depends on the application, you know. I'm torquing head bolts on an aluminum motor that costs more than my life's worth. And I have to do rotational torque. I am going to be using a very expensive, highly accurate, calibrated torque wrench. Yeah, I don't torque anything on mini quads like that. Yeah, it's good and tight. German torque. Good and tight. Finally got around to taking the baby ape out for a spin. This little guy, this is the in my opinion, this is the best deal on FPV right now. This was $60. Needed to throw a receiver in there. I threw the new Beta FPV micro receiver. It's an EP2 clone. Very good receiver. They did a very good job on it. And compared to the EP2s, it may just be the batch I have, but they're not silkscreened with the pin out. These ones are, which is kind of nice. This thing flies pretty good. It's a stock Betaflight tune. It certainly could be better. The camera sucks, but it's certainly flyable. It just has a very narrow field of view. So they do make a pro version of this with a Caddx Ant. I would say go with that one. But if you just want a quad that flies to fly, or a gift idea, this thing is stellar. This is a really good quad. There's little things. There's certainly things that they cheaped out on. The motors are, I don't know what they are. I don't even care. They work. The frame, like the standoffs for the frame here, they're plastic standoffs, so those are gonna strip pretty easily in a crash. The arms are thin. They're gonna break in a crash, but don't crash, A, and B, it's not bad. It's not bad at all for the price. $60. Like, I'm sure the flight controller costs more than $60 if you're gonna get an AIO like that. So this is definitely a winner in my book. Look for the review coming out on that fairly soon. Yeah, lots of low-grade electronics, hence what we're using in FPV. It is low-grade electronics. Let's not get that twisted. There's a reason why these things do what they do for the price that they're at. It's because they're not very good. Scheisentite? That's a good one. Let's see. Market Zero says, I have a newbie drone, V3. The VTX mapping was fixed on updated firmware to show. Okay, good to know. I'll definitely look into that. Good to know. That seemed like a big mistake on their part to make it not go down to 25. But yeah, I'll check out the mapping. Athex, how much will you pay for accuracy? I did a head gasket on a Geo Tracker. Torque wrench I had was OG needle kind. Yeah, that's fine. On a Geo Tracker, you could just do 2 or 3 ugga-duggas. It's not going to make a difference. When you start talking things that are high precision, high performance, where you have high compression ratios, aluminum on aluminum with ultra thin head gaskets to bring that squish down, you need more accuracy because they're not built with the planned mechanic slop in them. I did head bolts on a BMW, and it was like 350 foot-pounds plus 33.5 degrees. So you hit your torque, then you have to turn the bolt another 33.5 degrees. The torque wrench I have has an accelerometer, and it measures degrees, so I don't have to put a wheel on it. I can just keep doing this, and then it will know how many degrees you have turned before it tells you to stop. That is a luxury item. Obviously, you don't need that. You can put a wheel on it and mark, get close. It depends on the quality of work that you want to put out. Is really what it comes down to. There are plenty of mechanics out there that still use the beam style torque wrenches. Those are fine. They're good for resistive torque. And they may get away with the exact same product, or the exact same output. You know what I'm trying to say. But at work, the things I do, the torque range is usually really low. Using very small hardware that are designed to hold a lot of load. You say it like one sets up to crash. Well, all right. So let's take the 4-inch long range classes. Ultralight, very thin arms. They're not bashers. If you're the type of person who goes out and crashes every time you go fly because you can't not crash, it's not the quad for you. It is like there's experience levels in this. I'm sorry, guys. There is experience levels for certain quads. The long range quads are not for beginners. They are for more advanced. Same thing with like the 1S Dave C Nano Micro long range. Things are going to break in a crash. It's probably not something that a beginner should get. Beginners should probably getting something either a very, very inexpensive, that way it doesn't hurt so much when they break it, or something that's heavier and more robust so it doesn't break when it crash. Kind of see what I'm saying there? Splinter says, I worked in dental equipment repair industry for many years. All our bench power supplies, voltage meters, thermocouples got sent out once a year to calibrate. Yeah, that's how a lot of things are that I work with. Some things go out every 6 months, some things every year. Everything, depending on what it is, has a set schedule of when it needs to be recalibrated. Metal to metal compression to make a seal requires high precision surfaces. If you add a gasket, that quality isn't needed. Yeah. Or thinner gaskets, thicker gaskets, O-rings. It depends on how bad your OCD is. No, it depends on how bad you don't want to redo the work if it fails. It's really what it comes down to. Tiny Hawk 3, honestly, I haven't looked into it. I need to get one because the Tiny Hawk 2 was awesome. The Tiny Hawk 1 was awesome. The 3, we'll see. I haven't watched any reviews. I've been so busy. I haven't had time to do many FPV type things. Although I have my entire bag packed up with all my batteries charged. It was supposed to fly yesterday. I'll probably be doing that this afternoon, burning them up. Let's see, Morton. I wound up buying a second one because the first one crashed in flames, but it was my fault. Yeah, it's probably not even worth buying just the frame. If they sold it, you just buy another quad. You have a bunch of extra electronics. Let's see. Brandon said, I figured out why my Mob 6 was resetting on crashes. The PH 2.0 plug was barely soldered into the pigtail. Yep, that'll do it. There was a batch of Mob 6s. The flight control had an issue that if the voltage dropped below 3.2 volts, it would clear the Betaflight setup and go back to stock. I have no idea how it did it, all did it. I think that problem's solved. It's kind of like the first Baby Hawk. If you flew below, it's like 3.8 volts, it would literally just shut off mid-flight. They didn't have enough capacitance in the board to allow the voltage to drop a little bit, so you had to solder a capacitor across the battery leads, and then you could fly till basically you killed the battery. Mike Bergman, I don't crash often, but when I crash and make it count. That's the way to do it. Athex, are you a performance mechanic or dealer? I am not a dealer. I am a mechanic of sorts. Paul McDonald, how you doing this morning? Very important to calibrate. Yep. If you drop your torque wrench, guess what? Gotta calibrate it. You should. My favorite is I don't crash often. Yeah. That's the quote for the day. I don't crash often, but when I do, I make the ground knows it. As Bruce says, I use return to ground. That's good. This is my iGal Mob 6 very old flight controller. The first version, actually. It sometimes resets to corrupt settings. Yeah, that would be the one. I don't think that one's alive anymore. I think that one's gone now. So anyways, today we're going to get rid of the Sub250 crate. Let me go grab that real quick. Gotta find it. So, the giveaway today is for the Diatone Roma F35 frame. This is a really nice looking frame, a little confusing, the design. It's heavy like a basher, but it's a solid base plate, like a quad that you don't ever want to have to repair. But it is a pretty nice looking frame. I do like this. The carbon quality is exceptional. Chamfered arms, everything. Like there's a lot of time and effort that goes into that went into the design of this frame. Pretty cool looking frame. You know, Diatone, they do a good job. I do like the fact that they included, like, you know, the electronics, you know, the back end of this thing with the SMA connector holder and the XT30 holder, antenna holders, you know. Thinking about the people who don't have 3D printers that can't just whip something up. Pretty good frame. So that's, I'm gonna spin the wheel for that. I have 15 people entered. You know what? It's amazing how many less people sign up if they can't just click a link in the video, and they actually have to find the link in the video somewhere. So we're going to spin that here in a couple minutes. If you want to get out on that, you'll have to look at the October unboxing of that frame, or that Sub250 crate, and find the link and sign up. Tiny Hawk 3 looks like they finally went to a traditional 25 by 25. That kind of makes sense, especially because the Tiny Hawk Tiny Hawk HD is using a standard size AIO, so it was only a matter of time. I'm so happy that they did that, if they actually did that. Tiny Hawk 3. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. I haven't actually looked at it. 25, 100, 200 milliwatts. D8. Garbage. Flies 2S. That's a gimmick. At least it was on the last one. Comes in a nice little case. It has adjustable angle on the camera like the 2, which is nice. I found that on mine, the camera angle would adjust all the time. all the time. This is kind of funky. putting the cap on the end there, but hey, whatever works. I still don't like the fact they're using this kind of a prop setup, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Plugs for the motor still. Didn't learn a lesson from last time. Maybe it's better. I don't know. It's probably the same motors. That same like milk white frame. Let's find some specs. Tiny Hawk 3 to build upon the strengths of the previous generations while improving any shortcomings. Why don't you tell us what those were, Emacs? Drastically redesigned the body frame, centered around durability. Okay, blah, blah, blah. That does look way more beefed up than the last one. And it's funny, they kind of put like a arc to them. Or that's what it looks like anyways. Repairability. Let's see. 0802, 15,000 kVs on the motors. Emacs tiny receiver. I wonder if the receiver's separate, if it's built into the board. Hopefully that's separate. Nope, it's not. SPI. Nano 4 run cam. Battery, same 450 1S's. 32 grams. It's not bad. Let's see, do they have the... See if they have the flight controller listed. I doubt it. Yeah. I don't know why they always do that. They produce a product, but they don't come out with repair parts right away. The last Tiny Hawk, the Tiny Hawk 2, when that came out, the frames weren't for sale for like 6 months after they started producing it, unless you went through like customer service. It's really, really shitty. Sorry, missed that one. Courage JW, journeyman plumber here. Turd Wrangler. Had my first fire last weekend. Had a 20x20 hobby wing ESC go poof. That sucks. Great, make them work. Anyone who uses a Tango 2? I have a Tango 2, James. Welcome to the live stream. You got any questions? What's your question? Brian Huff, I missed the sign up. The sign up's still open, so if you want to get in on it, go find that link in the video. Mike Bergman, that was a fun one. Took me 2 or 3 times to find it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it that way. I mean, it's probably gonna screw up my analytics because people are just bouncing around the video, but I really don't give a shit. But normally I would have, say, 60 people signed up, and now I have 15. People who really want it are the ones that are going to get it. I'm perfectly fine with that. I should probably throw it to the patrons now as well. Yeah, you know what? That would be. If you're a patron, I'm going to put the link in my Patreon if you want it. So anytime I close any Chrome tab, my popped out chat goes bye-bye, which really sucks. Okay, link. All right, yeah, from now on, I'm going to post this to patrons as well. I don't know why I wasn't doing that. Wasn't thinking. So if you're a patron, you can find the link there. Back to the chat. Where are we at? Let's see. I promise question with it. Nope. It's weird. Use Marker TX. Got the Tango 2. Quad's now failsafe. Something I found very common on the Tango 2 is the SMA for the antenna comes off because it's got that articulating antenna. If it's not routed or hooked up perfectly, the first time you turn it, that SMA pops off. So pop the back open, take a look at that SMA, make sure it's connected. Make sure you're on the right region. I don't know if you're in a EU or FCC region, but that makes a big difference. But I've had plenty of fail safes with my Tango 2, and it was because that the antenna connector came off. It does look a lot like the Tiny Hawk 2 frame, but it's not exactly. It looks a little bit different. Not much though. You know what? It might be the same frame, but different canopy is maybe what I'm seeing. Yeah, maybe that's it. It does look a lot like it though. It's older, 20 by 20. Okay. Can't find the link. Enter the giveaway chat. Can I enter it here? You need to find it. That's the whole point. So you actually have to watch the video to find it. Busted the stupid 5-way joysticks off my X-Lite Pro board. I love that radio, but the joystick. What's it? Oh, the little dingus arm thing? Oh, yeah, that sucks. X-Lite. Let's see. If you're looking for repair parts for any of your FR Sky radios and you're in the US, Aloft Hobbies is the place to go. Here is your button set for that radio. And if you're outside the US, then Horace RC is where I would go. I don't know what the difference is between this one and this one. Whatever. But yeah, if you're looking for replacement parts, Aloft Hobbies is the place to go. Just feels like they need to sell more of the frame of the same flight control. Yeah. Yep, region makes a big difference there, says Splinter. He's 100% correct. Let's see, One Vision Aerial. Mark, I totally agree. I prefer the info needed to join a giveaway being hidden in the video. You have to find it, specs or whatever they want, versus a easy clickable link. Yeah, you know, you get like 100 people signed up, but you look at like my average watch time was like 35 seconds. Like, not cool with that. I mean, they don't send me these things for free. I pay for every single one of these. I always buy 2 of them. I keep one and I give one away. So it's not a sponsored thing. They're not paying for it. I'm giving them free advertising because I believe in what they do and I like what they're doing. Matter of fact, I don't know how that's going to change things, but they've had their intro video has been one from Stinger Swarm forever, and they talked about possibly making your boy the new banner video type thing. So we'll see what happens with that. Just talks. We don't know, but yeah. Let's see. Back to the oh god, the chat jumped. Where is it? Okay. So what I've been doing with the chat is I've been highlighting the thing that I'm on. That way I can go back and find what was highlighted, as long as I don't click off of it. Because the YouTube chat, I'll be like up here and it'll jump and I lose my spot. And I want to make sure that I talk to each one of you guys, or at least see what you're all talking about. You know. Let's see. Really wanted the new Beta FPV EOS TX, but the code issues ruin it for me. So, here it is. I have one. They sent me one for review. I haven't finished a review on it. And I think people are making an awful lot of fuss about pretty much nothing. It's a great module. It has issues. I think it came out before the software was ready. The software works just fine on it as it is. Plug this in your radio and go, and you will have no issues. The issues come up. So the issues are nitpicky. Like, I don't have a USB-C cable that plugs into that port. I don't know what they dimensioned that off of. It must have been like maybe something that came with like a Samsung phone, because those are usually really skinny, but all the USB-C cords that I have readily available, they don't fit. Okay, whatever. I have Wi-Fi updating. I can do that. It has a fan on it. Fan kicks on above, I think 100 milliwatts. Keeps it cool. That's fine. Whatever. Of course, the power amp is on the wrong side of the board for the fan, but this case is something that they're planning on using for a 1 watt version when that comes out, which will have the power amp on the other side of the board. So from a manufacturer standpoint, they're thinking ahead. The OLED screen's cool. It's useless. It doesn't do anything. The downside that I see is people are making a big deal about when you go into the menu, it stops transmitting. It doesn't fail-safe. Well, it fail-safes because it cuts the power to the power amp. That is something that is easily corrected in software and will be corrected in software once ExpressORS and this thing start working well together. Other than that, it's a great module. It works great. Goes up to 500 milliwatts. Does have a 2S input on it. But it came out early. It came out too quickly. They probably should have waited till the ELRS 2.0 code worked with it. It has its own proprietary build of ExpressORS, which is fine. It works just fine. I would have to say that I don't know if I would recommend buying it yet, but I believe this one will be awesome once the software catches up with it. The case material is phenomenal. It's injection molded. This isn't 3D printed or anything like that. It fits tight, like really tight in my radio. I have to like squeeze the ends and like push on the antenna to pop it out. But I do like it. I think if you're looking for something that's going to work well in the future, this is probably the one. Why am I on that screen still? Idiot. All right. That link was evil, by the way. Yeah, that was the idea. That was the idea. Oh, look at that. 21 more people. Or I got 21 people now. So that's six more. Awesome. I've been using my Tango 2 for over a year now. I bought the Tango 2 before. I bought it pre-release, basically. I used it right up until the Mambo came out. I haven't touched the Tango since. But, yeah. Brian Huff, Patreon member. How you doing, man? Welcome to the group. Well, you've been here for a while, but yeah. Exactly. The people who want it are going to find it. It's like my Patreon members. I do Patreon giveaways every month. Pretty big giveaways sometimes. And those are the people who really want it. The giveaway for this month, if you're not a Patreon member, is for a Diatone Roma or a Diatone Mamba F405 Mark III standard flight controller. Just give you guys an idea what's going on over there. The month of December, though, one person is going to be extremely happy, and a bunch of people are going to be very, very pissed because what I'm planning for December it's a big one. I've been dropping little hints all over the place of what it is, but I don't think anybody's really figured it out yet. There's some good guesses, though. And no, it's not a fleshlight. Let's see. James said reflash firmware up and down, replace the SD card. James, it's probably a hardware level issue, not software. Pull it apart, see if that cable's connected. Or send it back. If it's not working and it's new, send it back. Stop trying to fix something that shouldn't have been broken. Too much of this. So here we go. Ranty time. Too much of the stuff that we do here with quads, we try to fix stuff that shouldn't be broken. You get a brand new quad, it breaks, we're fixing it. Why? Send that piece of back to the manufacturer. Let them deal with it. Let them deal with their poor quality. Borg. Hello, bro. How are you, bro? Mike Bergman, I do not use Visual Code Studio. I tried it for a few other things, very confusing. Oh boy, big jump there. All right, yes, use code. It's pain in the ass. So the last time I flashed Marlin to a 3D printer, it was still using Arduino IDE. So I haven't used Visual Code to do that. That's how long it's been since I've messed with Marlin. Didn't know you could buy replacement parts. Yes, damn near every part is replaceable on that radio. Another reason why I still think FrSky makes good radios. At least they have plenty of support for them. Kind of. Their customer service, like, that's... All right, we're not going to go that way. ESC FPV, how you doing, man? Sounds like time to contact TBS support. Again, pop it open, take a look. I'm way behind in the chat. Sorry, guys. Never use Alof's hobbies. I use them a lot, especially like trying to find like replacement switches that break off and things like that. Great place to go. The prices are very, very reasonable. Let's see. Splinter, swap my Tango 2 mainboard out to the V3. Very easy to do. It is very easy to do. They're very subtle. I don't know if I'm going to make it that hard to find next time. I probably will. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, these electronics do fail, Brandon. I've had good luck with Crossfire. I've never had a lot of fail-safes, except for when I had actual hardware level issues, like clipped antennas or antennas not connected, things like that. But TBS they'll hook you up. They'll fix it for you. Definitely don't do it on their Facebook group. Good God, stay off of that thing. Don't post anything to the TBS Lounge unless you want to just get ridiculed till the end of the earth. Use their customer service. TBS has great customer service. That is for sure. It is in their best interest to make you happy because they have lots of competition right now. 5 views. Still missed it. Gave up. Can't wait to see where it was. It's all over the video. 3 or 4 different times. Look at my microphone. Sorry, I had something in my eye. It's just odd that the Micro TX has 0 issues. Probably because your antenna is disconnected inside the radio. Let's see. Any news on the CNC gimbals for the TX16S I ordered from Get FPV a month ago? I don't know. Haven't heard anything about them other than people like them for whatever reason. I don't know. They think they're better. They're clanky. I think that's the gist of what I got about how nice they are. Is they clank when you hit the ends instead of having a plasticky thud. I don't think you'll see a difference flying, to be honest with you. You would replace them because your stock gimbals are damaged or you just want to. As far as... Yeah. Let's see. Mike Bergman, current GW, no kidding. Only downside, missing that thermal shutdown thing and burning your life down. I don't know what that means. Flashed the wrong bin to my Beta FPV Micro TX. How do I fix it? You can use the Beta, you can use the release candidate 2.0, and you'll lose the OLED screen. I believe they have the the bin file on their website, I believe. Let's look. By the way, Beta FPV is doing a Black Friday thingy. If you want to get some of their stuff, have more details. Stand by. Let's see. The official website will hold 5 days. They say Big Black Friday sales site-wide, 50% off from the 26th of November to the 1st of December. Could you please release this in the video before the 29th? All right. Let's see. Some micro TX you're talking about? Where are we at? Where are we at? This is good. Good live stream. Me not paying attention to the chat. I don't know where I was. Who am I talking about? What are we talking about? Oh, L. Austin. Flashed Beta Flight Micro TX module. Let's see. There is a hex for it or a bin file somewhere. I don't see it. I don't see it right off the bat here. But they said they have it available. It's probably in their support links. Where is it at? Yeah. Anyways, hit me up over on Discord and I can help you out with that one there. But yes, you can reflash to it. Mike Bergman did say, yeah. Heard nothing. Yeah, Sierra should never drop before video drops in most cases. Yes, but there's not a lot of bandwidth. So if you're flying with too many people that are at high output power with telemetry enabled, you can very easily fail safe. Keith Drones, how you doing, man? Not a whole lot. Facebook is the devil. Yeah, it's full of fanboys that accept nothing other than their Lord and Savior, Trappy. That is being 100% correct. Bling factor, yep. That's just what it is. Just want. That's the only reason I could say to buy the gimbals. A, either you need to replace yours, or B, you just want them. They are pretty darn cool looking, though. Be honest. They're cool. I don't think you're going to notice any difference as far as how they work. Athix, found it. Good. Good. Glad you did. You could also become a patron and get the link too. Just saying. Keep you on simulator time. Sim time. I got real sim time. I got a lot of packs I got to go burn up. Do you have any prop recommendations for longer flight times? 5-inch. Yeah, go with buy blades of whatever flavor you want to try. If you're on tries, go to buys. Liftoff, a good place to start. Liftoff or Velocidrone. But the quality of the flight sim is going to be 100% related to how good your computer is. The physics are driven off of basically like the higher frames per second you can create, the better the physics are. If your computer is chugging along at 30 frames per second, it is going to feel very different. The physics are going to feel very different opposed to if you can crank out 144, 250 and up. I am a patron. Well, I put the link in there. I'm going to be doing that from now on for the Sub250 crates, just because the links are getting harder and harder to find. Because I'm evil like that. Let's see. TBS does have a good ecosystem. They do have a good ecosystem. I give them that, but there are lots of other good ecosystems as well. Ghost has a good ecosystem where they do over-the-air firmware updating, and TBS has that. That's about the only thing they have over ExpressLRS right now. Other than that, the price is too high, the availability is too low, but they do have over-the-air firmware flashing, which ExpressLRS is working on as we speak. John D switched over to quad blades and love them. Probably not for long range, though. You do need a good gaming computer for Sims, definitely. It's hard because of awesome phone stream it's hard because my awesome phone stream to it, so 240p. Well, that'll do it too. Yeah, that's something I was thinking about, is what does this look like at, you know, snail resolution. Should I go to an open football field and try to fly? Full manual, good place to try again. I take it. Yeah, a good place is a large open field with nobody around, with somebody that is going to help you. A spot for you when you do crash, because you'll be all disoriented when you crash. You won't know where your shit's at. Sorry, I'm really bad at that today. And also, in case somebody walks out and wants to shank you, you know, that's always my fear. But definitely go with a sim. The sim, even with low frames per second or like a poor performing sim, you can at least get the physics of how to fly. Don't simulate the simulator. And what I mean by that is turn on arming, turn on crashes, turn on all the stuff that you would need in the real life. If you fly in a sim and you never have to arm and you can fly through trees and hit the ground and nothing ever happens, you're not learning you're not getting the most out of your time. If you have to arm in turtle mode and crashes break props, then you are getting the maximum benefit out of that simulator. Never simulate the simulator. That's what I mean by that. So go into the sim, make sure you have your arming switch mapped out, make sure you have your turtle mode switch mapped out, make sure you have crash damage on, and then learn to fly like that. Don't learn to fly in God mode with auto arming. It won't do you as much good. Yeah, definitely not long range. Definitely not long range. Freerider runs. Yes, FPV Freerider does run very well on low quality or low performance computers. They also have FPV Freerider for your phone, which most non-Apple phones, you can use a USB OTG cable and you can actually pair your controller with your phone and fly FPV Freerider on your phone. I wonder if I could do that with... video idea right there. Can I pair my FR Sky X9 Lite S with the Bluetooth trainer to my phone to play FPV Freerider? I need to write that down because I'm going to forget that. And I'll be honest, guys, I'm scratching I'm at the bottom of the barrel for content. There hasn't been a lot of development in this hobby in the last little bit. Brandon Baked Beans. Holy crap, that giveaway link was well hidden. Yes, plan on them being that way for a while. Let's see. John D's just put my first wing using iNav. It's awesome. I do need to learn to fly wings and iNav because I just want to. Yeah, YouTube made a change maybe 3 or 4 months ago where you can't just select the video resolution like you used to. Now you have to select between 3 options like data saver or high performance, which really doesn't mean much. I don't like the fact that YouTube did that. They're not doing it to do anything. They did it under the impression that we're going to help you out, save on data. Who the hell has data caps anyways anymore? It's for them. It's to reduce their throughput. Which, if they wanted to do that, they would give screen off viewing to everybody and not make it YouTube Premium membership. Not make it for just YouTube Premium members. If they really were concerned. Otherwise, I call BS on that move on their end. Splinter FPV, TBS Crossfire is just what happens to keep me in the air and is what I know and flown for several years. There is nothing wrong with TBS Crossfire. If you have Crossfire and you're happy with it, no one's making you move. I don't know if I'd buy any more Crossfire receivers. But yeah. If you have a Potato PC, you can run Curry Kittens FPV Simulator. Yeah, there's a guy in my Delta 5 FPV chapter who has actually made his own sim. It looks a lot like Curry Kittens. I think he's doing it on Unreal, but it wasn't bad. He just had, it's one of those things he dinks with it when he has time. The shutdown was good for him, as far as that goes. Let's see. Adrian says I have a good PC gaming. I have a good gaming PC. Get some more sim time before trying full. Yeah, I would recommend that. Unless, you just want to go out and do it, but don't be upset when things break. In this hobby, you shouldn't be that upset when you crash. If you break an arm, break a prop, don't break GoPros because those are expensive. It's just part of learning. If you fly a lot and you never crash because you never push yourself, then that's not good. If you push yourself and you don't crash, then push harder. If that makes any sense. But yeah. If anyone is curious about how evil Facebook actually is, go to DuckDuckGo after the stream, search word Facebook and life log. It will blow your mind. Okay. Carbon Cage, how you doing, man? Welcome. How's it going? Athix, I burn 50 gigs a month. Yeah, when where I lived in northern Michigan, I had satellite internet. Was the only internet I had. That was garbage. Be surprised how much data you go through. Oh, we haven't looked at these guys today. Got the old Doge cam up. Dog treat time. Lazy old dogs doing what lazy dogs do. If you want to learn how to fly wings, check out Wing Sim. I will definitely do that. Wing Sim. Yeah. I have a couple wings. I don't know, for some reason I have a hard time flying them. I have a hard time finding the time to fly them too. We'll put it that way too. DuckDuckGo. I'm sure I shouldn't. Oops, kids in the room better watch my lingo. What's up? DuckDuckGo is good. GoPro 7 is perfect for beginners. Easy lens removal. I would recommend against the GoPro 7. Go with a 6 or an 8. Just because the 7 doesn't work well with Real Steady Go. If that's anything you're concerned about, I would avoid the 7. Go with a 6. It works way better with Real Steady Go. 7 has issues with the gyro. Let's see. I got super butt hurt my first crash. Hurt my ego a lot. I'm quickly getting over it. Yeah, dude, build a bridge and get over it because you're going to be crashing a lot. This hobby is all crashing, especially if you come from like the DJI world where when you crash, that's like the end of the camera drone. You do have a weird stigma behind crashing. Every time I land, I crash. Try racing. Go racing. That will break you of worrying about crashing. When you crash while racing, you throttle out. You don't just disarm and hope things survive. You throttle out and hopefully you didn't lose a prop and burn up a motor. Carbon Cage, hope you well, mate. Yes, I am. Hope you're doing well as well. Hope you're doing well as well. Yeah. Metaverse for metahumans, yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Auto launch on iNav is really good. Yeah, that's something I would really like to try out with iNav. Facebook is Poo. Yep. Try running the YouTube channel, and the Poo comments that come through are fun. Yeah, anymore, like people ask a question for help on a video that's unrelated to the question that they have, and I'd say 99% of the time if I post a reply, I never get a response back. If anybody's watching this and you need tech help, don't do it in the YouTube comment section. Go to Discord. Go to my Discord. If I can't get to you, somebody else will. There's a ton of people there that have dealt with all sorts of problems that I'll be able to help you out. The YouTube comment thing for troubleshooting sucks. If we do have a good back and forth in it, after 4 replies, I stop getting notifications that you're replying. So it just drops off my radar. I have a ton going on, a ton of people I talk to every day. I wish I could remember everybody who I'm working with at the time, but honestly, if I don't get those notifications, they just go. I'm sorry. I'm a cable guy on the go, listening to YouTube, if not, then a podcast. Been enjoying Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan's really entertaining. If you like Joe Rogan, you'll probably like the Adam Carolla show. It's funny and kind of poignant. He does a lot of really good interviews with people. Recently gotten wings a lot. You get a hold of a mini track or something. 3D printed Orca wings. Pretty awesome. Cool. Tiny trainer indoors. I would love to go do that. All of us running shark bite tiny trainers. Yeah, I got my new HD0 cameras. I haven't had a chance to put them in anything yet. Again, time. Never disarm. Yeah, never disarm, never surrender. When in doubt, throttle out. There have been a few close calls where I have almost ran into a bunch of people doing that at a racetrack, but, you know, everybody does it. You slam into a gate, throttle out. When I power slammed my baby ape into the ground, I was pretty damn funny, but then I had to look around for about an hour for the missing arm. Yeah. Mike Bourbon. Yep, the Ace Man is awesome. You are 100% correct. Come on, guys. I dare you all to stop using stabilization. Real steady lets you see your best. Yep. So real steady and like the hyper smooth, they have an application. They are good for production stuff where you're showing it to the layman, the people who don't know FPV. It's crappy to say this, but every time I see props in view and I see the view moving around and the props or the props moving around in the field of view, I'm instantly like, oh, okay, so we're covering up our flying with stabilization. But I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, if you're trying to produce a video, then I see it, but if you're trying to showcase your skills, it doesn't, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm being kind of a about it, or if that's how everybody else feels, but like anytime you see a quad where the props are not in view and the field of view is not quite super view, they're cropping in because you can see the props moving around. What'll happen is like you'll have your view and you'll see the props doing this in the camera view. It's because real steady or hyper smooth is holding the view still by cropping in, and you'll see the props moving around. I don't know. It's just me. I don't know. Let's see. Looking for a nano shark bite camera right now. I have a bunch of the not HD0 ones. If you need one, hit me up. I can hook you up. I got a bunch of them. You have any experience with a run cam hybrid? Yeah, it's garbage. But if you don't have any other choice, it's not that bad. When you compare it to the gold standard, like a GoPro or a GoPro Hero or a Session, it is subpar at best. But if you don't have the ability to run those, I would say an Insta360 Go is better. If you don't have the ability to run that, then the Runcam Hybrid is probably the best of all the built-in HD onboard recording options out there. So for the class that it's in, it's good. In comparison to other HD cameras, I'd say it's at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, the AR wings are pretty slick. Slat says you're wrong. I don't know what we're talking about. I still use a hero session. Yeah, I've got two unicorns still. They're still alive somehow. I was like this close to going to Best Buy and buying that DJI Osmo Action 2. I don't know if I should get it or not. I keep talking myself in and out of it. Like I'm like I want to do some comparison. I want to put it up to a session. I want to put it up against Insta360 Go. I don't know if you saw the video where I did a 4-way comparison, DJI on board, and then I had a 3-camera TPU mount. I flew around, did a comparison. I didn't do a very good job with that one. I wanted to do that, but I don't. God, the reviews I see on it are just so mixed. Some people say it's great, and then some people say it's garbage. It's hard to tell who's shilling for who. I think it's probably not a good camera, but it's still a good camera. It's the best camera in that form factor we have, but it's very not. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, man. Athex says I'm 50-50 on stabilized film. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Like, there's a purpose. If you're doing like a real estate shot or like a cinematic shot, yeah, great. That's what you should be doing. That's the standard. If you're trying to showcase your skills, shut that shit off. Sorry, kids. Sorry. The mini shakes a lot in your FPV feed. Yeah. Something artistic. You want to showcase scenery. Stabilization is nice. Pretty happy with the Caddx Peanut recently, and the Insta360. Yeah, the Insta360 Go and the Caddx Peanut, obviously same camera. Well, not obviously, but they are the same camera. Stabilization is great. I never think of Joe Rogan as the dude. Yeah, I can't think of Adam Carolla except for the host of The Man Show. My first GoPro is the 9. That's a good camera. Cinematic flight, I usually use stabilization. Unstabilized gives more visceral feel to the shot. Can be rough, extended clips. Yeah, for the average viewer that's not in the hobby or in the know, stabilized cinematic footage is what I would want to show them. To us, we want to see the raw video, unless you're doing something like incredibly artistic. That, like, look at the Johnny FPV. That stuff blows my mind, but it's all stabilized. Like, you better believe it's all stabilized. Like Ladrib's video of the Osmo 2, where he did like the super flowy flight. I don't think stabilization was on for that, and it is mind blowing. You're either very smooth, or you know how to fly with the stabilization very well. The workflow on it is super slow, very, very slow. But that's what everybody's using now. They're using a proprietary battery charging case, but not a lot of them offload to that other device, you know. Not Vash stuff, yeah. Did you get yours through Best Buy? Please tell me you got yours through Best Buy. I wish I could get my hands in some sessions. Yeah. Sessions are, you know, every time I see a picture of one crash, it's like, you know, pouring out for another dead unicorn. I don't like the Osmo for FPV. The FPV battery time is not long enough. Plus temp problems. So have you actually run into the point where you run out of battery flying your Osmo? Family Guyver? eBay still sells them. Yep. I made brand new session. Got for $100. Yeah, they're out there. They can be had, but you know, Splinter, Espresso, better real steady Go compatibility. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and shut the giveaway down here. We have 31 people signed up for the Sub250 crate. If you haven't signed up yet, better luck next month. 2 ways you can do it. You can find it in the video, not in the video description, in the video. or you can become a patron, and you'll get the link posted there. All right, 31 entries. Let's copy and paste. All right, guys. Here are the people entered for the Sub250 crate giveaway. You'll have to pay shipping. Obviously, I'll break the frame down and send it as economically as I possibly can. Somebody give me a time between 10 and 50. My GoPro 7 is going strong. Should I upgrade? Any benefits? The only upgrade you'll get from going from the 7 to anything else is better compatibility for real steady go, in my opinion. Obviously, the Hero 10 is a massive step up from the 7. It's also a lot heavier, too. Mike Bergman, double deuces. Customize. 22. All right. With GyroFlow now doing everything, nobody will waste money. Yeah, GyroFlow is a pain in the ass, though, compared to just offloading it to Real Steady Go. Honestly, Osmo Action is really a really good option still. Do you have one, Adrian? That's what I want to know. Like, I can watch all the review videos all day long. There's always an agenda behind them. Pushing clicks, pushing affiliate links, pushing likes. I want to talk to somebody who has no stake in the game, who has one that can say either it's good or see, my 9-inch rig is a nightmare. I would have to run stabilization on it. Okay, that's another edge case, is just because your quad is incapable of getting smooth footage, but you can. It's just gonna. What's better, stabilize the footage or figure out why your quad vibrates? You know, 9-inch props or 9-inch rig, 9-inch props. Any little out of balance in the props, you're gonna have jello like there's no tomorrow. Had to watch the video 5 times. Oh, Robbie, you got it first. 34. All right, sorry. Sorry, Mike, I didn't see that. 34. It'll be 34 this time. Keith Jones didn't want us to know what he said. The 9 is a brick. The 9 is a brick. They are, once they put that screen on the front, they became a brick. But they also became more useful for other things than just doing FPV, like vloggy type stuff, if that's what you're into. That's cool. That's one of the reasons why I was thinking about the DJI Osmo, is I do like the idea of that screen. I can flip it around, and because doing that with the Sony A6400, it's beautiful. Love it. Nice external microphone on it. I'm not using it right now. I'm using this one. But it's heavy. It's bulky. It's very obvious when I'm doing it. I'm very self-conscious about doing vloggy stuff out in public. I think I look like a total and I tend not to do it, but maybe something like that's a little more covert. I've done it with the Insta360 Go. Very nondescript, you know. It just looks like you're walking around with some weirdo thing, except for when you're out here with a selfie stick. Anyways, so many options now. GyroFlow 3.0 is way better now. It is way better because they're, I think they're using, I think they partnered with Real Steady. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking something else. GyroFlow 3.0. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. The audio stock is really good. Yep. It's 3, 2. Oh, geez, yeah. Any little imbalance, you're gonna have lots of issues. All right, guys, here we go. Let's shuffle this thing. Good luck, and thanks for playing along. Every month I do a giveaway for a Sub250 crate. I buy 2. I pay for 2, 1 for me, 1 for you. The last couple months, I've been hiding the link in the video somewhere, so you actually have to watch the damn thing. It's self-serving, and plus, these are the people that really want it. I'm also putting the link in Patreon. Is it going to be Julian or is it going to be Keith Drones? Which one is it? Drum roll. Julian Helt? I think. All right. Either hit me up, tweetfv@gmail.com, hit me up on Discord, or I have your email address. I will send you an email. We'll get this thing out to you. Congratulations, Julian. Thank you for your support. Selfie sticks look so embarrassing to use. Yeah, they do. They really do. That's why the wider the field of view you can get, the less need for a selfie stick there is. But yeah. I don't know. I've got one killer selfie stick from Insta360. That's one of those things. When I saw the first selfie stick, I'm like, I'm never going to be that that has a selfie stick. I have a couple of them now, but I never use them. The only one I use is the one that I got from GoPro, because it's also a tripod. I use the tripod part of it more than anything else. But, you know, do people even do vlogs anymore? Like, I never watch vlogs. Like, I remember vlogging was like a big thing in this hobby 3-4 years ago. But I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of vloggy stuff anymore. I use a hand mount, and the first car that I drove by honked. Like, what the right? Yeah, so I don't know if DJI still sells this one, or GoPro still sells this one, but this is a, I don't know, I'm showcasing selfie sticks, but it's got lots of articulation to it. The bottom of it opens up, and there's a tripod inside of it, which you can screw into the bottom to make like a tripod mount for it. And you can also pull the tripod off, and then you have the GoPro labia mount thing. I took my GoPro to Disney, and I got yelled at by a freaking 16-year-old that's threatening to take my GoPro away from me. I told her, you try it, I'll fucking kill you. Yeah, she said, I will confiscate that if you have that out again. I'm like, you and what fucking... You and what army? I'll break your damn neck. I take my GoPro. It was a session, too. Let's see. 3D print a floating one out of black TPU. Yeah, you have to, for the sevens, you have to like have just crazy amounts of stabilization, isolation. Brandon. Oh, what a... Yeah. I don't know. I did one moto vlog, and I really enjoyed doing that, but like the setup is such a convoluted pain in the ass. And I had lots of really bad clipping with the microphone. I want to do it again, because I really enjoyed kind of just riding to where I was going to fly and just kind of talking. I think people enjoyed it. I don't know. The mouse has goons. They will take it. Yeah, they will, but they're going to have to try. It will not be given to them. Exactly. Like, just when I was 16 years old, if I was working there, I never would. I'd be like, "Hey, sir, you can't have that on the. You can't have that here." Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that was the rule. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know. But to be emboldened where you can walk up and threaten to take it away from somebody, like the self-esteem movement in this country, not a good thing. Not a good thing, guys. When did we put so much control into the freaking 16 to 18-year-olds? I have no idea. They contribute the least, and they know the least, but yet they have so much pull. Sorry, getting a little sidetracked there. Let's see. You're allowed to film in public. Yes, you are. But if you're on private property, that gets a little convoluted. Morton, nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you next time. Joshua Bardwell, I just got the notification that he is streaming. He has that nice 43-minute long intro song. Then he's going to slurp on some soda, and then he's going to go and dry hump his toolboxes. I'm jealous. Like his bench setup now is pretty darn nice. I see that he's actually stepping up his live streaming game. He's got some diffusion for his lights. He's got multiple cameras going on. It was like 3 weeks ago, people were making fun of him, saying that I had a better setup than he did. Thank you guys for that. And I think he's like, oh, crap, this no-name who's it is has a better setup than I do. I better do something. Is Disney Park considered public? No, it's private property. You pay to get in there. It's private. Exactly. Teenagers think we are their servants. I could go on forever about this. You know, when I was 18, 19, 20, I thought adults were, or like when I was a kid, I thought adults were smart. They had it. I never realized that until now how many adults are so f***ing stupid. People are dumb. Oh, yeah, we had a First Amendment auditor show up at work and get pushed around by security. It was a bad time. Yeah. We are raising monsters. Yep, I've got one I'm raising too. I'm unfortunately going to unleash that little shit into the world, and it's just going to be a pain in the ass. Hath always been. I always want to thank you for all you do. If I were gainfully employed, I would probably become a Patreon member. Thank you regardless. Hey man, I appreciate it. There's no need to be a patron. These guys do help out a lot. Watching my videos, clicking the affiliate links, that helps a ton. If you want to do that, tweetfv.com is the place to go to find all those links. The Patreon members just come with a little bit of extra benefits, but you know, that's fine. I appreciate the support. Hath always been. I've seen some. It's some of them. I just learned about the Constitution and want to try it out. Yeah, you can learn about it, but sometimes learning has consequences. Do you get ad revenue? I do. It sucks. Let's put it this way: my YouTube ad revenue doesn't cover my Adobe and my Adobe subscription and my Epidemic Sound subscription. It just barely covers those. So ad revenue from YouTube is absolute it's nothing, and it's always the same. No matter how much I put out or how many views, it's somehow it always scales to be just about the same amount every month. I don't know why. The algorithm is what it is. I do get a lot from affiliates, and by a lot I mean enough to kind of support the giveaways I do. So I'm not running this at a complete loss. Between Patreon, the Race Day Quads is a huge one. They have been an amazing supporter of mine since day one. Race Day Quads, well, not day one, but day one that I became a affiliated vendor with them. Patreon, Race Day Quads, and Banggood. Honestly, Banggood, because a lot of people are outside of the U.S. use my affiliate links through Banggood. It does help out a ton. Yeah, for some reason, John D's YouTube flagged that comment. Shocker, right? Oh man. There are some that really do know their stuff. There are some very educated people that are out there checking to educate other people, but I don't think they're doing it to educate. They're doing it to, well, educating is the end result, but they're doing it in a way that's putting their self in danger because, let's face it, the only person who's going to look out for you is number one. You know? I don't know. It just bothers me when I see the people in cars are yelling that they're free sovereign citizens and are allowed to travel without, or allowed to drive without a driver's license. It's like, what? I mean, they might be right. I have no idea, but it's just, the video's up for, the videos become sensationalized, not for what they're trying to do, but for I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Yeah, not Technology. Yes, they were. It's going to get worse. Rights are like muscles. We use them or lose them. Amen. All right, guys. I'm going to cut it here. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. It's been a great stream. I came here with almost nothing to talk about, and we managed to kill it. Oh, crap. I forgot. New idea coming out. Actually useful frequency cards. Thanks for sticking around to the end. You get this little snippet. This is on anodized aluminum. Just a thought. I'll put these in the store once I finalize the design. But it's race band, fat shark band, shark bite, DJI in 25 and 50 milliwatts, and then it also has the IMD 5 and 6C protocols for if you wanted 4 or 5 or 6 pilots to fly with, like where you would place everybody. Conveniently sized to fit in your wallet. So, it's just something I'm messing with. So, all right, guys. Thanks for sticking around and coming out. I really appreciate it. If you're not a patron, you're going to want to be one next month. I'm telling you. I'll let you know what we got going on probably around the 6th, 7th of December. If you're a patron and you haven't gotten in on the giveaway for the flight controller, make sure you do so. Go to tweetfv.com, hit those links, support me passively. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you saw, I mean, it's in this video. I've been dropping little Easter eggs and hints of what next month is all over the place. So if you guys saw it, let me know. All right, folks, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time. And as always, folks, stay positive. I'll see you around. Bye.